Well, hello and welcome to Girls Chat. This is the show that we come on each week and we share a little bit of inspiration and information to help you have a profitable um, a profitable soul and budget. Hey Caren, I don't know why I'm I'm here with I'm Kate. I'm here with my co-host. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Caren, your money mindset coach and the founder of the Money Mindset Academy at Island Girl Hustle.
And I'm Kay Elizabeth Green. I am a spiritual fitness coach and author of the book Building Spiritual Muscle. And it is always my joy and pleasure to work with all of you highly sensitive, natural born leaders, which I call indigos. Live your best life now. And I am excited about 2019. What about you, Caren?
Oh yeah. There is things coming at me way faster than I'd like it to come. There's things that I have to do, and people are waiting on me. And I want you to feel the same way. I want you to really start feeling people are waiting on you. So you need to get whatever gifts you have been given and get them out there. Sometimes we get really slack and just relax. And I'm one of them at times. As much as I do, there's things that has been on the back burner that's coming to light. 2019, no stone unturned. If I didn't turn over the stone, it needs to go.
I know exactly what you mean, and that really excites me when we're talking about breakthrough January, breaking through our barriers to start this year off. And before we do that, tell me, how is the weather up in your neck of the woods? Snowing?
I think it eased up now, but it was. I'm downstairs in my office, so I can't see because I blocked everything out. It's blocked out. I have to look at it instead. I can open it out, but when it's snowing, there's no point. Just gets you more cold by just watching the snow.
Hey, remind our listeners where you are, Caren.
I'm in Toronto, Canada. We didn't get a lot of snow for Christmas. It is not really bad, but if you don't have snow and you see it, you'll probably think it's bad because there's snow on the ground.
And I'm blessed to be down here in sunny Nevada. It is today's beautiful day, and I am so glad I moved from the Midwest because gray skies can be a barrier to keep me from exercising. So I don't have any barriers, any at all. Well, as you were setting your intentions, and we're talking about breakthrough barriers, what tip did you have to share with us today, Caren?
Well, today's topic is, what does breakthrough means to you? That's right out. Let's just get it right. What does breakthrough means to you? That's what we're talking about today. And I'm going to tap into two things: why we need it and how are we going to get it. That's the two we'll talk
about. Okay, so why do we need a breakthrough?
Why do we need it? Why do we need to break through anything? We need to break through bad habits, planning for the new year but not taking action. So we do it because it makes us feel better. We need a breakthrough because it makes us feel better every time. If you were crying and you suddenly stop and really analyze things, you feel better. It was a breakthrough. Maybe the tears got you through to the point where now you're ready to actually live. And that kind of breakthrough, I think, is the most powerful breakthrough. When you cry, when I was younger, when I cried, I want to go to sleep after. And if I did go to sleep after I had a good old cry, if it wasn't in the bathroom, when I come out, I'm fine. But if it wasn't in the bathroom and I cried, I will go to sleep. And if I went to sleep, I'll get up refreshed and ready to do a whole bunch of stuff. I have broken through things, but sometimes we don't even realize that's a breakthrough. We see that, oh my God, I can't believe I cried. This is, think, just stop yourself for a minute and see what came up when you cried. Because in your tears, so much happens. But usually we can't step aside because we're busy crying about the thing. Now, here's my solution: cry about the thing, get upset about the thing, get mad about the thing, and then see what the thing just brought you. Because those tears is bringing you something. They're washing in a lot of good stuff while it washes out a lot of not good stuff.
Oh, I totally agree with you. I was listening to a show earlier today, and surprisingly, they were talking about breakthroughs. And they were saying that we're constantly breaking through barriers, and understand the barriers were built be there. They help us to build those muscles. They help us to get stronger. And yes, there will be tears. Yes, you will fall down. Yes, you will get scarred. But if you're passionate enough of getting to that other side, then you look at breakthroughs when you get to that other side as being a blessing. You
Exactly.
know,
Exactly.
because if you
Exactly.
hadn't have broken through that particular one, you would have never, you would still be there.
Yes, exactly. I was taking this class while I was in high school. I was happened to be a very studious kind of kid, so I skipped a lot of class, and so I end up. I think I was about 13, and I was really about to finish high school, and I think the principals didn't really know what to do with me. A, because in Guyana I wasn't qualified yet to go to university, so I write my entrance exam and anywhere that higher education, but nobody would take me in because you had to be 18. Which I'm so happy that they kicked that stupid rule out because they're bright kids at 15 and 16. And so, my principal spent a lot of time just putting me into classes that would keep me busy. She made me join this basket weaving. She's like, Caren, if you spend at least 2 hours in a basket weave class, it could probably slow you down. And she was right. Because it was something new I never did. And it put a lot of energy into it. And we were making these baskets. I saw Liz's mic is there, but even though it's not on her, it reflected something that I remember. That's why I'm bringing this up. And they used to take a wire and make it round. And you will put on this raffia, if you will, on it. And then you're going and interweave into it. And, the teacher came in, she demonstrated how the basket is made, show us a finished product, and then give us all the material and we had to get to working on it. And then she informed us, after all our hard work, the baskets are sold anywhere from $10 to maybe $45. Nothing big. And I couldn't understand how we're going to spend so much time, making this basket for that little bit of money. Now, mind you, I'm not going to see a penny of that money because I'm taking a class. She's selling it. But being Caren, who Caren always has been, money made her want to know why.
Like,
It was not sensible, right? What she explained to me, but she was right, it is not so much about the basket, but it was about teaching us patience and how great things evolve, and it takes time to get there. And of course, most kids in the class didn't care because to them this is an out. Me, being academically loving, feel it's just a waste of time making the baskets, but I gotta tell you, I finished my basket. I got an A in my basket because although I was impatient about my basket, I'm always the kind of kid who really cared about A praises and being on the top of my game. Not being a perfectionist, because I want you to hear me clearly. Perfectionism doesn't get you anywhere. It makes you procrastinate and not get where you want to go. But doing the best you can and improving on it daily gets you to where you want
to be. Yeah, that bar.
Mm-hmm.
Being the best that you can be, and not judging yourself against your neighbor, not judging yourself against your siblings. And I must say, it's taken me a while to get to that point where I'm comfortable with me, and that's why I'm so eager to share that information, because I didn't realize I had a choice. I didn't realize that I had a choice to carve out my life.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yes, and when I heard that, I used to be so shocked, and this year I want to help a million women, a big number, right? But it's just it's going to be one woman at a time. It's not going to be the whole million. It's one woman at a time. This year I want to help a million people. I want to help a million people free their minds first, and I want to help a million women understand money really well so that they can feel comfortable in their spirit, mind, body, and soul in whatever they choose to do. And it's okay to carve out that space for you where you do you. And I am so fortunately, of all the bad things that have ever happened to me, one of the best things that came out of that is that I became this confident human being who just carve life out for herself. I don't need anybody to tell me what to do. And I done that for years, and then I found myself. I want to tell you something. Even when you do these things, I found myself at one point wanting people to tell me what to do because of some other incident that happened. Because once you get to this place where you're confident, then people start seeing you as cold, and hey, I've gotten the Miss Know It All. I've gotten the you think you're better than me, and those sort of things had made me retreat a little bit without recognizing I was retreating. So when you're confident, you have to guard your heart and really understand that people get jealous and upset with you. And I didn't think people could be, because in my mind, I was like, what are you talking about? You're great at what you're doing. You have a job, you're getting your money every month. In those days, I didn't know I had anything that's profitable enough considering where they were, the people that were coming at me. And the laughable part is I was content and happy in my place. But because they weren't, they were spilling over to me. I really have to ask one once, why are you upset with me? And they're like, well, the freedom you have, I don't. I'm like, well, just tell me that. But people wouldn't tell you. They'd rather be upset with you.
Well, it's the freedom that you took that
Yeah.
they didn't. I remember sitting in a temporary job that I had when I first came here into Vegas, and it was and with that job, it was customer service. You were on the telephone. Now, it was not something that yay, but
All right.
I contracted to give them 8 hours. They contracted to give me X number of dollars. Then it was up to me as to how I approached the job. And I remember sitting on a telephone call and I was just laughing with my customer and taking care of their business. And when I got off, a colleague said to me, "Don't you know you're not supposed to be happy at work?" Now, I thought she was kidding.
Nope.
But somebody told me later on, and then it dawned on me from the seriousness of her face that she was actually serious.
Yeah.
She did not believe that you could get joy, that you could enjoy your job. So wherever you are learning. Wherever you don't have to be there. You chose to be there. I don't care how low the job was. You chose to put in a application to apply for that position, and in order to start moving up and not be on the treadmill, you have to realize that you making these choices.
Right.
That's how you break through a barrier. You break through this unseen barrier.
Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Let's just get it on there.
Yeah. So what's one tip that people can take away to put into action, Caren, to break through their barrier? What would be the one thing that you would suggest that they do?
The one thing I want to suggest to break through your barriers this month is to surrender. Stop trying to be in so much control. Surrender it. Surrender it. Now, I'm going to tell you, surrender to God. And some people say surrender to the universe. And some people just say surrender. Whichever word you want to take and use, but surrender it. Because when you let something fly, it comes back to you in so many pieces. Ideas flow like crazy, but you got to truly, truly surrender. It can't be surface surrender. It got to be true surrender. And sometimes surrendering could be done in an hour, and sometimes surrendering take a whole week because of all the steps you need to take. That's dependent on how tight you wound it. Sorry, but it's true. And how close you're keeping things. That dictates how long it will take you to surrender.
And hopefully I've learned to surrender before the psychic 2x4. Okay. You know what I mean? Where, you've gone as far as you can, but you still pushing it. You gonna make it happen. And sometimes doors are shut because they need to, that's not the direction that you need to go in. But we'll push and we'll push and we'll push. And hopefully you don't wait until your back is up against the wall and you are bawling.
Right.
Oh Lord. I think a comedian was saying, we always call on a God, or we get to praying or drop on our knees when our back is up against our wall. If we could do that beforehand.
Yes. And generously spend that time. Don't feel hurried. And let me tell you, I've been doing it for so long, sometimes I do feel hurried. And I have to say to myself, Caren, what's the next step that is keeping you from paying attention to this step? And I really bring myself back down really quickly. That is not that important because I'm in this step at the present moment. So to be present, my ritual is to read my daily word, write in my grateful journal. Read my Bible, write in my money journal. I'm doing all these things, and the thought will appear to me that I'm spending too much time in this activity. And I simply would say, so what else is that I have to do? I mean, mind you, I know my days list, but what is so important that I want to leave these 4 books that I need to tend to? Not because there's a crisis, because this is part of my ritual and it's important to me. Where am I
going? Well, when you are keeping constant communication with anything, it's much easier to understand when they arrive with help. But if you haven't been knocking on the door and you haven't been getting acquainted with the language, when the answer comes, you may not realize it because you oh please, help me,
I know, yeah, you know it.
And I have learned to get ahead of that. I have learned to get ahead of that. Well, so the one step is surrender.
Surrender. It's that simple.
I got a hard time surrendering. How am I going to surrender?
Yeah, and go deep in the surrendering. And how does that look? A quick little tip. Just how does that look? Just on a 3x5 paper. How does that look? Right there. 3 things that you need to do to surrender. Just write the 3 things down. And write them down if it takes all week. Every day, write something new. So you might be surprised if you have 12, 16, 20 things to surrender. Give each one its time and do it. Do it, write about it, put it in the cool here, get a metal bowl that you can burn it up in, so you actually let it fly away and do what it needs to do. Flush it down the toilet. Put some water in it, really soak it and let it immerse in that water. Watch the words disappear. There's so many ways and so many symbols you can use to really you're really giving it away. You're giving it up. Surrender means you're giving it away. There's a lot of meaning, but I'm going to give you mine. You're giving it away. You're allowing the elements of the world to come in and do what they need to do.
Well, if
you go ahead and do what you got to do.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with you. Let's see here. hearing a little bit of the echo, but I wanted to show you something for
Book Nook, is that we get it?
yes, for Book Nook. Yeah, Book Nook, Book Nook, Book Nook. Each week we try to bring some information that you can follow back up on that you can feed your soul, feed your budget. And today it's not a book. It is a show. Have you seen the show?
No, I know she's doing, I guess, this is Maria Kondo.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get Maria, I forget, for furlough every Tuesday. She would send me something just like this where she's sitting and she's talking. But making room for baby. Okay. Nope.
What it is let me take this off for a minute so you can see. Her show is all about tidying up. And that and what I love about it is she says that you should only keep things in your life that bring you joy, that give you ping. And that's my new word. Ping. Does what you're doing bring you joy?
Mm-hmm.
And so much we talk about that your outer is a reflection of the inner. Well, on her show, it really emphasizes how the outer, how the clutter, when you start getting rid of it, makes space inside for you to think. You know, if you have Netflix, or I'm sure you can Google it.
I have Netflix. I totally, because that's what I used to teach when I did organization for people. It's wherever you see happening outside in people's houses is what's happening inside. Mm-hmm. I totally agree with her. I think somebody had sent me something because I used to do in my other life a couple of years ago in my cleaning company. I did a lot of videos. I don't have them anymore. I probably should get back to them, but where I talk to people about this sort of stuff, nobody wants to live in a dirty environment. I don't care if people say that you're dirty or untidy. You don't want to. But your physicality, it's overwhelming inside that it has to come out. And that's what's happening. That's what we see. And we're part of your thought process. Part of that jumble that's happening in your head, the confusion, the overwhelm. You have to physically exert it. If not, you die. That's a fact. Sorry.
Correct. And she gives a real good anchor point. Does it give you joy? Does it make you feel pain? From the clothes to the books to the jewelry to the paperwork. You know, we hold on to things, and because a lot of times we don't want to face how we were feeling when that thing was happening, and so we shove it back into the back of the closet and we think that it's gone, but it's not until we pull it out and get rid of it, like you said, burn it up, allow it. It was so interesting. I had picked this when you started talking about.
And you're like, yes, that's exactly what I've been looking at, because I know that's what happened. I cringe because I had about 75 handbags I had made for kids for church, and they were in a friend's shop, and some were sold, and she didn't pay me, and it's a mess. And I got up one day, and every time I see it, I would cringe inside. Every time I saw them, I would be upset with myself for putting in all the work, all the creativity, and then it didn't sell. And I charged in I went through the whole list of blame on Caren. Time. And then once I was able to get through my PD, I bagged them up, I put them in the back of my car, and I took them to Value Village, we have a Goodwill, one of those places. And I said to the guy, you think you can use this? And he says, oh my God, could we ever? They were made out of jeans. And I literally went back probably 2 days later to see if anybody cared about them, because I wanted to justify to myself that because they were so bad and so awful, that's why nobody bought them, and that's why this happened to me. Oh, the blame was on. I got in the store, and the Filipino guy, he knew me, and he's like, when he saw me, he was like excited. He's like calling me. I'm like, yeah, nobody cared. He goes, those bags went within 2 days. You have any more you want to bring us? I'm like, what? And I end up telling him my story, and he goes, oh, that's just because you were trying to let your friends sell it instead of sell it to people who really want it. I mean, he was so nonchalant. I'm like, what a guy. Shake his hand and leave. I'm like, okay, now you know what you know. And you're doing it again. That's the other thing. I'm like, no.
but you learn, and then I'm going through my closets now because it makes sense when you can see things. Growing up during the time that you keep everything behind closed doors, don't talk about it, pretend.
Yes.
Everything's okay.
Yes.
I am so glad that we have come back around. When we've pushed down those emotions, those are things that have festered and ate away at us. And so it is really good that the energy is such that it's encouraging us to step up, to speak up, and to move forward and break through barriers to really make 2019 be the best year possible.
Exactly. Standing in your own powerhouse. And guys, if you catch us on the replay, #replay, this is Liz, K. Elizabeth Green, and Caren Fern, your money mindset coach. And Liz, we really deal with you on every level you could think of. And this month we're talking breakthrough all month, and we're telling you about things that I know that you know, and so to refresh you to some, but news to others. And so we want to never forget that people are learning as they go and understanding where they are at the time, because we're all at different levels, different places in our lives and our businesses. And so give yourself credit. So those 75 bags went to people who need it, and probably, and I wasn't selling them expensive, and they didn't sell it any much less than I was selling it for, and that was just a business lessons. And so if you have some product, some service that you're offering and you're thinking they're too expensive, that's why it's not selling, take another look. Most time, 99% of the time, it's not because it's too expensive. It's the way you've positioned it and the things you've told yourself. That's why nobody's buying. It's not very rare. It's the price, it's the 10%. And when you cater just to the 10%, imagine you're losing 90% of the people who would have bought from you. So don't just cater to the 10.
Wise advice here. Well, it's almost that time.
You're doing so well for time.
If you want to get a reminder about the show, my bot is working now. My Sure Enough bot is working. So just type live in the comments to get a reminder for the show. Also, so that you can subscribe to the show and know when we're coming on. We recognize that many of you are catching us on replay, but if you want to come in live, know that you are welcome. We broadcast live on Facebook, but you will be able to get the replay both on YouTube and Facebook starting tomorrow. Let me see, what else did I want to tell people about? Like I said, the live. Oh, next week, I'm going to be sharing with you how to break through barriers with trusting yourself and listening to your intuition. So tune in. It should be, because it gives ping.
Yes. Excited.
So, and please do share the show. If you find that it has value for you and value for others, help us get the message out and share it. We'll
Yes.
be here every Wednesday at noon.
And 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
May light, love, and plenty of laughter always accompany you on your journey. I'm Elizabeth,
And I'm Caren Fern.
and may you have a blessed one. Bye bye.